My name is Bella Jacobs, and I'll be introducing what we're here to do today. We're representing Star Capital Investment Bank, and we're here to go through our analysis on Larry's Laminates. I have with me my colleagues, Cash Allen, the CFO, and Sandra Duke, another investment banker. So we've taken our time as an investment bank to review the current status of Larry's Laminates, the market value, the market prospects and management, and we've been able to come up with an overview of our analysis, valuations, of course, our recommendations, and we also looked into the financial projections. So I'll leave Cash Allen to take us through the numbers, and Sandra will take us through the analysis and recommendations.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Cash Allen and the CFO of Star Capitals. All right, basically from your financial, documents, right, and from your financials, basically, we could see that, of course, the chairman, Mr. Chairman, he wants to resign, right, or rather retire because of his age.
I got a new vote.
Oh, that's fine, right? He wants to retire, right, due to his age. And of course, we are considering two basic things, right? Either to hand it over to the management team, right, or, sell it to them, or to sell it to a PE firm. Right, and understanding the fact that a PE firm's goal is basically to make profit. Nothing more. They just want to cash out, then pull out. Right. So it would be a very, very good one if the primary goal is to make profit for you, sir, as the chairman, and you're retiring, or we could, focus on the culture of the organization, which you have worked over the years to build, right? So leaving it for a PE firm may affect your culture and your employees, right? And that's why we are looking at the options we have here. All right, we understand the fact that from your financials, you are in a good position, right? The company is quite liquid, right? And, considering the current assets, to current liability ratio, the company is quite liquid. It's about 2.1, right? Multiple. So it's in a good position, right, on liquidity terms, and also, on the other financial ratios, the company is quite good, and we will take a look at the industry, right? The industry analysis. Yeah, we understand the fact that the industry currently, is worth about 4.69 billion, right? Which, of course, the projection is that it would grow, by at the rate of 1.1% each year till 2027, which means by 2027 the industry would be able to, grow to $4.9 billion in sales. Well, our goal is that in the next 5 to 7 years, we want to double the company, which means our current market share, we want to have, we are relatively smaller than these firms. They are publicly traded. We are not, right? So we are looking at making sure that we double our shares in the market, so that we can have a say in the market also. Yeah, and of course, that's why we are here. We are trying to, make everything possible for you guys to maximize the money you would make, and at the same time, make the best decision for your company and your culture and your employees. All right. So basically, we went through, some valuation processes, right? We went through, some methods, which the best method would have to be, well, there's no best method in the right sense of it, because quite a number of things would be considered, right? And I would let my partner to go through the evaluation method.
Thank you very much. So we did 4 different valuations, which is the LBO, the discounted cash flow, the comparable, and also the precedent. So from our LBO, we were able to get 6.1 multiples for Larry's Laminates. For our precedent, there's an average of also 7.14 for Larry's Laminates. And the president actually gave us a better analysis into other companies and what the mean or what the average was, which was 8.2. And then we did a discount of 13% because it was a private company, and then that was how we were able to get a 7.1. And on the
Just sorry, quick question. How did you get to a 6 times in your LBO? Just what basic assumptions did you use?
All right, so we actually used the LBO model, and I used the depreciation and amortization. I also used the EBIT values. Then I put in the cash expense. I put in also the cash generated by no debit repay. And then I also, because the financials we were giving, we saw that there was a long-term loan and also short-term loan. So I used the long-term loan to actually get these figures. I don't know if that answered your question.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so after using all those figures, I would like to go straight to our analysis and recommendation. So we have 2 offers on the table. PE firm, which has flashed a 7 multiple to 8 multiples, and also their lenders have given a leverage of 4.5 multiples with a WACC of 10%. So from our own opinion, we think this may pose a little challenge to the PE firm because of the 4.5 leverage, and maybe the PE firm may have to reconsider their proposal, or maybe look for a way to actually get extra cash to make up that 7.5 multiples, compared to the management buyout, which is of John and Sheila, that has 30% already in the company, and also have proposed that they are going to put in 5 million of the personal capital, personal money, 20 million from family and friends, and 20 million from the bank, with a WACC of 11.5, which is like a total of 45 million. And they've also said that they are going to give Larry a seller note of 5 million with over 5 years with 6% interest on its principal. So looking at both, that's one of the major reasons why we decided to lean towards the management buyout. Why? Because these managers have in-depth experience. John already has an experience managing a publicly traded company for years before joining NLL. Sheila actually has experience with a Big 4 CPA also before joining NLL, and both of them they've been in the company for almost a decade. Number 2, one of Mr. Chairman's notes was, oh yeah, when I want to sell this company, I also want to keep legacy and also think of our employees. So which means one of the things that he actually cares about is the legacy of the company, which these two shareholders of the present companies actually have, because they're a little bit personal about the company because they've been there for almost a decade. And another one is the finances, because when we did the financials, and when I looked into the financials of Larry's, I saw that they've been profitable with a minimum of 5% yearly. So which means they actually have a good prospect for the next 5 years, just like what John and Sheila said, that they promise that they can double the value of this company in the next 5 to 7 years, which is very possible because of the history and the projects of Larry's financials. So another thing I'm going to talk about, I'm going to make mention of the proposal of the PE. Yes, when we looked at our valuation, which was for Larry, which was 6.1, and another was 7.1, and the PE is actually flashing 7 to 8. That is a very good proposal, I must say. But because Chairman is he's so concerned, it's not just all about the money. He has been in the company for years. Because of that, legacy means so much. And we know that over 50 years, this can be backed up with data, PE firms are all about flipping and making money. And they have nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with maybe legacy in most of the cases. So that was why we decided that, okay, it would be better for chairman to actually lean towards the management buyout instead of just the PE firm. And another point I'm going to make.
I want to interject. Is that true though? Are all PE firms vultures descending on prey?
No, they're not all vultures. I'm going to say something. So part of what they offered Larry was that he was going to be an advisor for 1 to 2 years, which means they still want him in because of the transition. And if he sells this to the management, that is practically not needed, because one of the reasons why he's trying to like retire is probably maybe to spend time with his family and his grandkids traveling. So which means by the time he's done, he does not need to worry about how these two people, the two managers, are going to be thinking about how to manage the company, because definitely he wants to retire, which means he does not really have a lot of time on his, please.
So what's the difference between the PE firm coming in and the private money that they're taking from family? Because won't the family have a say just like the PE firm is now taking a say?
Okay, so I would say I'm more leaning towards the probability that the family could actually request for equity, maybe instead of a whack. So that is an option. So peradventure, we can assume that this family is actually not asking for maybe a percentage over a period of time, but instead they're like, okay, we're going to give it this 20 million for equity in this company. And of course, that's definitely going to make the company grow. Any other questions? Mm-hmm.
So culture is important, legacy is important.
Yes, please.
How do we think about the monetary trade-off? So, how much money would Larry get under the PE offer versus under the management buyout offer? Do you have a sense?
Yes, I do have a sense. Yes, actually, if we're to take away, like I said from the onset, if we're to take away culture and legacy, the option of the PE is way better, because it means more liquidity because of the 7 to 8% that they're actually offering. But because legacy means so much to Larry, and that's why, and also the continuity of the company, even after maybe he's not there or he has passed away. And that's why we're definitely leaning towards the management buyout.
Did you calculate how much?
Yes. We did.
What's that difference?
Okay, so this company actually, going by the valuation methods we used, right, we agreed that, of course, there's no better or there's no best method, right, but depending on whatever we come, to choose. Meanwhile, in this case, we still evaluate the, company to be about $82 million, right, which means currently, as Larry has 70%, right, of the business, his share would be about 50 something thereabout, right? I'm not sure about the numbers right now, but 50 something thereabout, which means that for John and Sheila, their shares would be 20 something or 30 something million dollars, right? And with their $45 million that is coming from their family and friends and personal cash, and of course from the bank loan that they are taking, that should be enough to cover for purchase of the company, right? Without looking at the culture, right, of the company itself. So it's a good one if for continuity for Larry to go ahead and or rather for you to go ahead and of course sell to the management, to the management team, John and Sheila, than for the PE firms to take over, because like we said, they most likely would be they want you to they want Larry to be in the company for 1 to 2 years, which means for the sake of transitioning, right? And after the transitioning, there is a possibility that they would have a structural change also. well, let's assume John and Sheila are still maintaining their position right now as the CEO and CFO, as the CFO and CEO right now. But then the question would be that after Larry leaves, what happens to them? Now, even if they stay, the PE firms, still has the say over them because they still have 30% of the business because they said they want to throw back their 30% into the new business that comes up, right? So, which means the PE firm still has a larger stake, and for decision making, they will still be making decisions, and there most likely will be a structural change. That's most likely one.
Did your team identify any red flags or any risks?
Yes. So I'm going to talk about one, which is the seller's note. We know that when doing buyout and there is an option of a seller's note and there's also bank loan, we know that when it's time for payouts, you have to pay the bank first. And another disadvantage of this seller's note, look like a red flag, is that we're not sure of liquidity of cash that will be given to Larry in this 5 years, actually, that will be given quarterly. So that is the major red flag that I saw in using the management buyout. And there's another red flag that I saw with the PE firm, is this numbers, the 4.5 multiples, because the question is, if they are flashing 7 or to 8 and they already have 4.5, where do they get the remaining from? So if this
that's the debt leverage.
That's the debt.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally understand. That's the debt leverage. So if there's going to be a problem with liquidity, then it means that the major reason why.
So you think they may not be able to get the lending they need, so that they may come in with a reprice, a lower offer?
Probably.
Okay. Got it. So there's some risk to the offer even on the table from the private equity.
Well, the ball is still in your court, right, as the management team, right? But obviously we've made it known as an advisor, right, here, if you would work with us as your investment bank, we would prefer, right, of course you still make the choice on your own, but for the good of the company, right, and for the chairman, right, to exit on the best, while the ovation is still loud, still the loudest, right? We would suggest that the company is sold to the management team, right? And also, we normally, right, in the market, we could negotiate our rate, right? Of course, that would be off the table after now, all right? We would negotiate our rates, but normally in the market, we do 8 to 10%, of course. And you reach out to us because you've heard of our stuff, right? What we are made of, our experience, right, in the market, in the industry. And we've worked with some other industries too. And the reason why our CEO is currently not here is because he's in Asia, right, talking to Amazon, right, about some deals we're trying to close. So you are in good hands, I believe.
Okay, so one last point, because of course, we're not just ready to throw you under the bus. We're also interested in giving you maybe other options that you may actually want to consider. So we actually think that if you would actually lean towards the management buyout, it would be better for you to maybe request that they actually get more liquidity, get more money. Instead of the 45 million and the extra 5 million, we could project that they actually increase the amount that they are willing to actually give to you, which in turn will increase the amount of money in your pockets.
How would they do that? Through like an earn-out arrangement?
So
are you talking upfront as like cash on day one? Or
no.
Well, the cash on day one may not be feasible, right? Like we said, from the start of the business, they have 45 million cash, 20 from their family and friends, 5 million from their personal cash, right? Of course, we don't know how you made that, but 5 million from their personal cash, and of course, 20 million loan, right? Which means we have, or they have about 45 cash thrown into the business, right? And also, they have a stake. I mean, John and Sheila has a stake, right, of 30% in the business, which means by the valuation, right, the stake should be about $30 million, right? So, in total, you know, it should, right, be around 75 million, you know, thereabout, right, cash going on ground. Now, if 75 million is going into the business, and the business is worth about 82, 85 million, right, which means the money is up, right? So there could be a plan to pay up later. And of course, that should be plus the 5% that, I believe that's the reason for the note, right? The seller's note, you know, given to Larry, that, 5 million in the business still, but we'll be paying you quarterly a particular amount.
Another thing is that they could also request for more loan from the bank using the business as a leverage. So instead of the 20 million that the bank wanted to lend to them at 11.5 WACC, they could actually maybe strike a better deal of 30 million or 35 million, because the numbers we have here says that the company can be valued at, let's say, 70 million or 82 million because of the different analysis that we actually used. So I don't know if that answered your question.
We appreciate your presentation. We are unfortunately running up on time. So if there's any final questions or comments, then that would be appropriate.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.